Hello and welcome to my second blog for the Educational Leadership Practicum in the spring of 2012. I have decided to go with something that was incidental this week because not often do I find myself in the office dealing with parents of students. There will be the occasional disciplinary referral that goes to the office, or once in a while you might have to have administrative intervention in your room, if kids say they're going to fight each other or whatever it may be. But not very often have I found myself discussing the child's education in the office with the parents. Usually we can just take care of that outside of the office with a phone call, email, meeting. This time, not the case. So I've chosen to go with Standard 5 this time around, and here it is. A school administrator is an educational leader who promotes the success of all students by acting with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. And the gist of what happened this past week that landed me in the office with the student and the student's mother is that the student in one of my classes was mocking a young man sitting next to him. The way that the young man was sitting in the desk was obscure, and I think most people will probably say that, but that doesn't really matter. They were sitting in the front of the room, and this kid next to the young man sitting in his desk there imitated the kid and was doing it because he wanted to isolate the kid. He was making fun of him, and the problem I have with that is that it's bullying. And so I kicked the kid out of class, and we had an assignment while he was in the hallway. I went to talk to him, and we decided he doesn't need to come back that day. He stayed in the hall because he didn't want to go to the office, and so the assignment that we had, he was not allowed to make up because, to me, he was removed for disciplinary reasons. His behavior is what caused him to be outside of the office or outside of the classroom, and so we got a 0 on the assignment. Well, he was fighting tooth and nail to get that assignment for me, and I would not give it to him. And maybe, eventually I realized that I should, and I was missing the point. It wasn't even about the assignment. It was about the behavior and the isolation of the young man that he was making fun of sitting next to him in front of the whole class. And the mother raised a good point when I talked to her before she decided to come into the office. She said that when kids get suspended, they'll still get makeup work. And I said, that's a fair point. Let me talk to the administration, because where I came from previously, this was something that was backed up by the administration. I'm a first-year teacher at my new school, so it didn't, I guess I didn't know for sure if this was something I could do or couldn't do. And again, I was missing the point. It wasn't even about the homework, and so it was about the bullying. So the kid comes in and we talk, and he will not admit that what he was doing was bullying. He will not admit that he might have put the kid on an island per se. And I battled within myself not to become relatively unprofessional during this point because it's very frustrating. The kid is a leader in the school, a football player, a captain on the football team in the fall, and I believe does track and very successfully in the spring. It's just one of those things where it's very clear, and you're trying to set an example for the other kids. Don't act that way, and you're also trying to teach a lesson to the kid who's bullying. You can't do that, and to defend the young man who was being pushed around. But as far as Standard 5 goes specifically, it was very hard for me to keep my professionalism, even though I did, because you can't allow yourself not to. But also, acting in an ethical manner, I needed to draw a line between behavior and the young man's education. He needed to get the makeup work as much as I didn't think he deserved it. That's not the point. The point is he comes to school to learn, and even though he was removed, he still needed to get the makeup work and to be given the opportunity to do it and given feedback on the makeup work. as a result, that's the resolution that we found by the end of it. And I hope moving forward that we have an understanding going forward, but we'll see. What I learned as far as the administration or the administrative side of this is that sometimes it's very difficult for an administrator to back a teacher, because what I had come up with as far as the policy of him not getting the makeup work probably wasn't okay, and legally I don't think I was probably supposed to be able to do that. I don't know if I should have been backed in the past, but I was, so I've done this. And so you've got to find a fine line there between discipline, education, and keep any of the personal stuff out of it. As upset as I was with this kid for bullying, I couldn't make it personal, and because that's unprofessional, and the administrator has to continue to uphold all those standards as well.